I'm making a short film tomorrow. And someone's outside of my bedroom again. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies. And today I'm going to be doing a second review of the day because a few hours ago, actually about 6 hours ago, I left my apartment and went to the cinemas again for the 4th time since I have returned to Hong Kong. And this time I watched a movie with my cousin, and that movie is神探大戰, or in English, Detective versus Sleuths. Well, if you're interested in watching a movie about detectives versus sleuths, oh boy do I have a movie for you. So this is a new movie directed by Wai Ga-fai, and it is actually a sequel to the movie Santam, or Mad Detective, from the year 2007, also directed by Wai Ga-fai, as well as legendary action crime thriller director Johnny To. So this is a sequel, and it's 15 years apart from the original. And yeah, one of the reasons why I decided to watch this instead of some other movie like Bullet Train is because I wanted to watch a Hong Kong film before I leave Hong Kong. Because once I leave this place and go back to LA, why the hell would they screen Hong Kong films in the cinemas? This is my only chance in the whole year, unless I come back to Hong Kong in December. But still, you know, it's airing now, I gotta watch it. So here are some of my thoughts on this movie. I think the first act is a total mess. It's really dense, it's really messy, it's really, really confusing. And I get it, it is a sequel to a movie that came out 15 years ago, but still, it has been 15 years since the original movie came out. This movie should expect a lot of people, a lot of viewers who haven't watched the original. But I actually haven't watched the original, but I have a feeling that a lot of the stuff that happened in the first act of the film has nothing to do with the original either. So yeah, it's really chaotic and dense and fast-paced, and not in a good way, not even in an artsy sort of a crazy anxiety-inducing way, just in a very confusing way. I also think the acting is kind of lackluster, pretty much your average TVB melodramatic screaming acting. Loud equals angry, loud equals nervous, loud equals whatever. The louder the better. That is how mainstream melodramatic TVB acting is in Hong Kong. The dialogue are sometimes very awkward, that is to be expected, and also the CGI is absolutely awful here. So the this is a sequel to Mad Detective, and of course Mad Detective is mad. He's mad, he's crazy, and he would see visions, he would have auditory hallucinations, and he has split personalities and all that. And in this movie, he has a hallucination of a winged demon monster thing, and the CGI is so freaking bad. It looks like PS2 graphics. And on top of that, we also have a lot of raining scenes, which I really love. I don't know why, but I really love movies that feature raining scenes nowadays, especially given how much Los Angeles lack rain. It just makes me appreciate rain even more. But the raining scenes in this movie doesn't look really realistic or anything, because there's a filter, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's actual rain, but sometimes it looks like there's a rain filter, like a CGI rain. The ending is absolutely over the top. That is to be expected. Tons of explosions, gun fights, giving birth to a baby in the middle of an abandoned ship. It's insane. It's wacky, and I'm not gonna blame it. Of course, this movie had never tried to be realistic in the first place. Now over to the pros of the film. There's someone outside of my bedroom, and he wouldn't leave. It's my father. But anyways, the main character is played by Lau Chengwan, Sean Lau, and he is pretty fun to watch. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't say the acting is great, but at least he is giving his all. You can really tell. He's being really dramatic with his performance, and he's really giving his all. And the cinematography is not bad. The DP of this film is actually Zhang Xiukeng, who is the same DP in many great Hong Kong films, including Limbo, which is a movie that came out last year. Zhang Xiukeng just won Best Cinematography in the Hong Kong Movie Awards. He really deserved it. So good cinematography. I wouldn't say great cinematography because a lot of the shots here are just pretty average, but some of the shots here, especially shots that show the city, look really nice. There's a bit in this movie, I guess in the second act, where the main character, the mad detective, and another police woman visit a village on the mountains, and yeah, dang, you wouldn't see a view like this anywhere else in the world. And I think overall the concept is pretty cool. I mean, we have the mad detective who has solved a lot of cases, who are a better case solver than the police. So a bunch of people who are relatives and friends of murder victims sought the help of the mad detective and form a vigilante group and try to catch criminals and murderers themselves. And then the police want to catch them. It's a mess, but the concept itself is cool. So yeah, I guess the last thing I'd like to say is that this movie deals with police corruption from time to time, and oh boy, I don't know if it's okay to make movies about that. But I guess the reason why this movie is out and people are watching it now and the government gave the okay sign is simply because the movie is made with a big studio and they have the money. But otherwise, if it's some indie film and it involves police corruption, well, oh boy, the authorities will not be happy with that. So yeah, yeah, this movie is it's mediocre, it's lackluster. I wouldn't say it's terrible or anything, but it has all the issues that a mainstream modern Hong Kong film would have. I'm giving Detective vs. Sleuths 神探大戰 a 6 out of 10. Also, before finishing this video, I would like to quickly go over the movies that came out this year, the Hong Kong movies. I don't know why, but last year a lot of great Hong Kong films came out. Hong Kong film almost had a tiny renaissance last year. But this year it basically went back to the lame, boring, unoriginal industry that it always has been ever since the 2010s. So of course we have Septet, the story of Hong Kong, which I reviewed, which I didn't really like all that much. Recently we have the sort of a teenage young adult type movie called Far Far Away, 原路山旮旯, which I have no interest in watching at all because it's a pretty artsy rom-com, and by artsy I don't mean like artsy as in cinematic artsy. I mean 文青, which is this new late 2010s trend of wearing thin frame glasses and reading cool books and poems in Hong Kong. So not really my thing. We have Mama's Affair, aka 阿媽有咗第二個, which feature two members of the boy band Mirror, and it's only riding off of that and nothing else. And then we have a Chilly Laugh Story, which is another comedy which doesn't look all that great. We have 飯戲攻心, which is also another one of those comedies, nothing all that special. And then we have the incredibly hyped up Tomorrow Wars, 明日戰記, which a lot of people seem to be very excited about, but me personally, I'm not excited about it because it looks like one of those CGI metal fests, and that's it. And it's almost like a rip-off of like your average American your entire city blows up kind of future thriller stuff. So yeah, Hong Kong cinema, you can do better than this. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more.